Welcome back. Can this man find a way back into this Masters Championship match against Chris Barnes? Parick Allens has struggled so far in this final. The last match of this tremendous Men's World Championships that's seen so many nations and so many bowlers competing. Really does herald the fact that this sport has started to spread its wings across the world now. Even taking it back just a decade, Cass, and you just wouldn't have had this sort of range of ability from this range of countries.
No, that's quite right. Way back in 1875 when I played at the World Championships and won a medal, there's probably only half the number of players or countries competing.
Yes, lest we forget, were you captain of the equipment? And all sorts. Parick Allens and Chris Barnes, two men that have come to terms with those changes in recent times to great effect professionally in the USA, but here very much wearing the flag and wearing it proudly to what has been a tremendous US performance here in Germany. They really have cleaned up.
Great start from Parick Allens, 2 strikes in a row on the shorter oil. On lane 12. 38 feet long. Barnes has moved way left on the approach and is getting some really nice hook now. You can see how much that hooked up into the pocket. Simply because he's moved his feet left on the approach, he's thrown the ball right into the dry area, and the ball is reacting with the lane, hooking up right in the 1-3 pocket and just carrying pins. It's so simple, really. I wish it was.
Wanted to skip over to this lane, get off to a good start, and then see his opponent make mistakes. It hasn't happened, and I'm afraid the first man to blink is PA. Trouble already?
Yeah, high through the head pin. First 2 shots made the pocket really well. That one was just radar gone wrong. So he leaves the 4 and the 7 pin. Straightforward spare with the hard ball, which should go very straight. Won't be looking for any hook here.
This is an unbelievable facility, isn't it, Cass? It's an amazing bowling centre.
Yeah, as I say, 56 lanes installed by our friends from Brunswick Bowling. Purpose built for the World Championships. Absolute feast of bowling all week. So Chris Barnes had a 300 game earlier in the singles qualifying. Well, although you didn't see it hit the pocket, it definitely did and carried all 10 pins, and Chris looks pretty ruthless, doesn't he? He's bowled 11 strikes out of the last 13 frames that he's bowled.
It does make you wonder why he hasn't brought anything home from the PBA this season. But there is a question mark over his ability in the televised finals, and that question mark has been there for a number of years now. People questioning his ability when it comes to the big games. Parick Allens happy to let the bowling gods work in his favour there. A wry smile from Chris Barnes. You might want to see too many more of those.
Yeah, a big trip on the 6 pin. And about half an hour later than the rest. And the crowd appreciated it. They like all that.
Yeah, he's good with the crowd. He knows how to work. The reason why he can't find that magic touch once again. Oh dear.
Now we've seen that from Chris Barnes before in other tournaments.
Absolutely.
I think his thumb moves as the ball pushes away. I think there's a bit of movement in the thumb hole, which just makes him think he hasn't got the grip, and it may just sort of not get the rotation behind it that he wants, because the thumb comes out first before the finger. So he's going to regroup.
Well, elite athletes able to spot and stop when things aren't quite right, and it was worth the wait. Well worth it.
Chris Barnes on remote control at the moment. There is no stopping him.
He's a joy to watch. I'd forgotten actually about the economy of movement in the Barnes action. It really is very smooth.
Don't know.
Yeah, he won't be too concerned about that though if he does have to hop over again. But, well, Parick Allens probably going to have to strike it off the sheet, and Chris Barnes is going to have to make some mistakes for that to happen. Well, there's a good start.
Yeah, 2 doubles for Parick in this game out of 5 frames. So he's certainly getting a better reaction on the pins. I'm quite satisfied with that. but he's got to keep it going. Barnes really lined up. He'll be looking for the six-pack here. It's a great-looking shot.
So you and I have both had the privilege of working with Chris Barnes in the commentary booth, and he never stops thinking bowling, does he, Parick Allens? But he knows when to entertain, and he also knows when to win. He is a consummate professional athlete.
I'm sure he's seen Chris Barnes in this form before and realises maybe what's coming.
Oh, he nearly got it again. Well taken out, but let's be fair, Cass, if that was a prediction that Chris Barnes is going to make it 6 in a row, you're not too far out of the ballpark the way he's bowling.
I wouldn't put money against it.
Yes, yeah, we'll put it that way. Chris Barnes then, to see if he can keep this strike run going. I do like what he's done at this tournament in general. He's been a great ambassador once again, but on and off the lane. But on the lane, I mean, he is just something to watch. That was a little bit lucky there, but he'll take it.
High through the head pin and gets a 4-pin trip from the back of the pin, which is unusual. And I hate to say it, although he's got 6 in a row, if you're going to bowl a 300 game, that's got to be the 300 ball, the lucky one.
Yes, all the bowlers will tell you there has to be one. Been here yesterday. Here we go then, Parick Allens trying to keep some sort of score ticking over here, but I'm afraid the left-hander's trouble. The ring in 7 has haunted him.
So he's only had 4 strikes, and this is frame 7 for him. And every time he doesn't get a strike, he's falling further behind.
Yeah, he's just marking time now. He's just making sure that the crowd are entertained. I think he knows the writing is on the wall. This man, Chris Barnes, is doing a demolition job on his teammate.
Yes, indeed. Working on 6 in a row. See how far left he is on the approach. Right up against the ball return there. His feet are almost in the gutter. And that's just a perfect arc. Look at that. Great looking shot. Chris Barnes at his best.
Well, it's lovely to watch.
well, Patrick's thrown the white flag out, hasn't he?
There we go. He's thrown in the towel. He's got the white flag to surrender up. Call it what you will.
It's just a bit of mutual respect, and he understands that Chris is on a roll. PA comes back with one in frame number 8.
An interesting carry. About it, the job is nearly done. He won't be happy though unless he can make the maximum. Oh, it's looking very good indeed. And so is Chris Barnes. He's ridden his luck in frame 6. And he's back with the strike line in 7 and 8.
Great to see.
Yeah, the 300s are good, but it's the televised 300s. This is what these guys then try and collect. Has played his role in this final, but unfortunately, as the backup man.
It's pretty much on cruise control. It's gone a little bit wide and light. Oh, crikey. Talk about rip the rack. It was light on the headpin, but he got the mix, and that's a fantastic 9 strikes in a row. So we will see Chris Barnes next frame. He will stand up and have the opportunity to bowl for a televised 300 game.
Convincing strike. You weren't so sure this was coming back, were you, Cass? But
well, he was
came right
PA to finish. Almost a sympathetic round of applause there as Patrick leaves 2 pins standing. Not good enough to compete with, yeah, let's say it, the world's best bowler at this particular time, Chris Barnes.
You can see him trying to keep that thought out of his head.
It's like a caged tiger, isn't he? So he's already had one this week. Be nice to go home with 2. Parick Allens finishes on 212. Not his best game. silver medalist is no disgrace.
No, absolutely not.
He's had a very, very good week.
So Chris Barnes, quick to applaud his opponent. Will realise that it's just one of those days when it was his day. But now our attention's turned to the matter in hand.
He's already got 17 strikes out of his last 18 shots.
Unbelievable. Away we go. Is the 300 still on? Yes, it is. Oh, yes.
Well, the crowd are loving it, aren't they? Absolute on cruise control. Fantastic looking shot. The first 9 in a row. The first 10 in a row, of course.
But is it going to be good enough for the perfect score? Next delivery.
One more, come on, carry.
Needs to come back. Oh, he's unlucky. He is so unlucky. There wasn't a lot wrong with that shot, apart from the fact that all 10 didn't go down.
It just looked a fraction high on the headpin, and it's cut right through.
Look at him go.
Hop, skip and a jump, isn't it?
That's when he wanted his luck, but I'm afraid his luck ran out in terms of the maximum game anyway. The gold medal, though, is his, and listen to that response from the crowd. Well, if this USA team came to Munich to entertain, they have done just that. They came to win medals. And that's the other thing they've done. They have absolutely cleaned up at these World Championships. But it's been thrilling to watch. Just a shame that Parick Allens couldn't quite get in on the act there.
Congratulations to the Masters champion,